Good morning. Yep, before dawn, another digital link. You know, I listened to Bard's FM this morning, and he was done from last night. Let me turn that down. We'll turn that off. That radio breaking the squelch. It was a Bard's FM from last night. He's talking about human trafficking. Made me think of something that I hadn't thought of in years. See, one thing about trucks, your groceries don't come into good neighborhoods. They don't build grocery warehouses, at least till Walmart come along, out in safe areas, especially in the inner cities. And I've been in some of the darkest areas of inner cities all over this country. Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Trenton, New Jersey, Los Angeles, Miami. It doesn't matter where you go, what city you go to, trucks are relegated off into the lower class areas. And the majority of them are minority areas. I mean, you know, one of the most notorious is Hunts Point Market in the Bronx. But it made me think of a girl. That morning, many years ago, I'd just driven 1,000 miles straight from Arkansas to Philadelphia, and I bumped the dock with doors closed without load produce, and it's midnight. I go to sleep. Give me some rest before they unload me in the morning, and I can go reload and start heading back. Hadn't been asleep a couple hours, and a knock on the door. This girl, it was a prostitute. That is quite common. One of the most beautiful women I have ever seen. Boy, she was absolutely gorgeous. Little blonde. I look in both mirrors of the truck, looking for somebody, because this is not a white middle class neighborhood. This is behind the Philadelphia market, and probably one of the roughest areas of you could imagine. So you don't get out and walk around. Well, I'm looking down both sides of the truck, looking for somebody to hit me in the head. It's snowing. It's 0 degrees outside, or below zero. It was a cold dang morning, middle of winter. And I roll down the window a little bit. Hey, honey, you want some company? I said, no, I don't want no company. I just want to sleep. She goes, well, can I warm up a few minutes? I'm not without a heart. It was cold. It was bitterly cold. Well, so I opened the door and let her in the truck and relocked it. And we went to talking. And I shared Christ with her that morning. Tears rolled down her face. You could tell she was ashamed of what she was doing. But I also understand that life's hard, and you take some people, they don't know any other way to go. Whether they're trafficked into it, I have no doubt she might have had a pimp running around somewhere that was so it was as much drug induced as it was, for the money, or just to survive. Get on the internet and search "A Year in Hell." It's about the economic collapse in Serbia. and how the city devolved, the things people had to do. Women would sell themselves, their kids, for a can of beans to have something to eat. That's desperation. That's a desperation that many don't know, and you won't see it you won't see that kind of desperation portrayed on your sitcoms, on the boob tube. And that's the kind of desperation that many women, runaways, teens, they get themselves locked into, or they think they're locked into, because it's what they've become accustomed to. They can legitimize it. Well, I gotta eat, so it's only one more trick. And guys, if you've never loved a woman that's been abused, you don't understand the emotional scars. There's a little gal I love with all my heart. I was a teenager. She was raped for 5 years by her own daddy. Just tears me up. How could you? And this happens all across the world, where people are abused. The emotional scarring. That girl, it has scarred her whole life. She's been divorced 6 times. Since I'm 52, since we was in high school. I don't talk to her. I say you see her on Facebook, but I've left Facebook. But just it completely destroyed her whole life. Her psyche. She doesn't know how to love. She doesn't know what true love is anymore. She thinks true love comes from sex. That's carnate love. That's not agape love. That's not the love of Christ. We have an evil world that is fallen. People get desperate. They'll do things that you never dreamed they would do. You think that girl in Philly, when she was a young teen, said, "Hey, I get older, I'm gonna be a prostitute." Hey, ain't nobody says that. So, till you walked in their shoes, till you understand the heart, the hurt, the scarring. You see that prostitute on the corner, don't look down on her. And I know a lot of people won't ever get out of their comfort zone in their middle class suburbia utopia, and they may never see a prostitute. I've seen them in every city in the country. Where I'm going to over in Memphis, I'll probably see 3 or 4 hiking up and down Lamar Street, Highway 78. But that's just the nature. It is a dark, desperate thing to have to sell yourself, to sell your soul, your ability to bond with another as a soul mate. For every Joe that prostitute sees, it makes it harder for her to love the one and only. There's another girl. She was raped when she was 16. I loved her. Still do. She was traumatized with nightmares for years after that. One night with the Holy Ghost through me, she wake up screaming. I laid hands on her. And I had Bible verses I didn't know. I had verses that I didn't know I knew. The good Lord hasn't given me the power of tongues. I got one word, Sheila Bobby. Don't ask me what it means, because I can't tell you. Don't know where it came from. But I can tell you, when the Holy Ghost lays on you, you have an almighty power. That girl was raped and had nightmares. She ain't had a nightmare in 20 years from that one night. The Lord healed her damaged psyche. That girl's my wife. And that's what the other girl needs. Her daddy raped her for so long. She needs a supernatural, almighty healing. And He can heal us all if we just ask. Just show love. Don't condemn for what you don't know, what you think you know. Don't look down your nose at somebody thinking you're better than them. Because I'll tell you up front, when you start thinking you're somebody, try ordering a stranger's dog around and see how that goes. That's just about exactly how much authority you have over another. Anyway, I'm already 12 minutes into this. Our crazy, crazy world. I had a whole list of news stories I wanted to mention, but after listening to Bards FM, and I just had to share this piece. So just remember, love others as you love yourself. Love God as Christ loved us. And in the end, God wins. Have a great day, people. Bye now.